So this, I'd imagine, is its correct orientation because you've then got the vents that way. However, I suppose you could also lay it down. So you've got a couple of options there because the vents are on the top and the bottom. And there's little Seagate branding on there. And at the back, you've also got all the vents. Now, I will plug this into Windows. Not that I'm going to plan to use it there, but I'm just interested to see what software Seagate include with it, because they're normally known for sticking on stuff that nobody really ever wants. Okay, so loading it into Windows 11 here. When you open the drive, as you can imagine, there is already some stuff on here. You've got your warranty in a PDF format, so I'll grab that off. You've got your Windows installer and one for the Mac. So just loading up the Windows installer. Like I said, I'm not planning to keep this. It pops up a website which you just need to register, which will register your device. And then you get the option to install Toolkit, which is a separate installation, which gives you some of the Windows features. Now, like I said, I'm not planning to use this because I'm going to stick this on my Synology itself just to do backups. But if you're planning to use this on your Windows device to, manage backups, sync folders, etc., it does have some fairly useful tools. So maybe I was being a bit harsh on Seagate. Sometimes in the past you used to get a lot of fluff and faff that nobody ever wanted. So I'll just speed this up a little bit, and the Toolkit installer is done. You do get the option to optimize for Windows. Christ knows what that means, but why not? Let's just humor them. It will format it as NTFS, as you'd expect, just because of the partition tables and support above 2 terabytes. Gives you the option to free up space. I'm not going to do that, but here are what you've got. So you've got Seagate Secure, which is just like an encryption device at the top. So if you wanted to encrypt your drive, you can. I'm not going to do that because, like I said, there's no point. You've then got backup, which you can set up backups. So you can do backup now or customize. You've got restore. Obviously, if you restore, this feature seems quite useful. So this gives you the opportunity to mirror drives. If you've got a particular drive or folder, if you think of maybe for me, for YouTube videos, it'd actually be really useful to mirror some of those drives. I carry on through the rest of it. You do get some additional software, which is called Milo. Now, you do get 12 months of it. So I might sign up for it just to have a look. God knows what it's priced afterwards. I can imagine it's probably going to be one of those opening deals, but you do get that option to do that. And to follow that up, you just click on that the link and follow it through. And that realistically is the installation of the Seagate device. What I will do in a moment is cover off speeds. So I've had some speed tests provided to me. Like I said, I'm not planning to use it myself, but you can see the drive there, and we'll go into why you never see the full 16 terabytes when we summarize. So let's summarize. This is a Seagate One Touch with hub, 16 terabyte external drive. Well packaged, good device, fairly quiet. Transfer speeds are as follows, which, to be honest, for a USB 3 device is very, very good. I've got a Western Digital Black that kind of isn't far off those kind of speeds either. So realistically, to have a 16 terabyte drive address that quickly on a USB 3 is pretty impressive stuff. Now, I've always wondered why they add the hub elements, because realistically, you're always bottlenecked by the USB 3 interface being at 600. So you're not going to gain a lot of clout by plugging in a USB-C device, for example, into that hub. You might use it for, relaying keyboards or USB sticks, etc., just to do very quick transfers if it's on your desk and helpful. I personally never really use the hub elements of these devices. Now, to cover off why you only get 14.5 terabytes, it's actually, unfortunately, the way that the industry advertises. So I see this question asked all the time. Realistically, the way it works is that, in fact, when you break down bytes to kilobytes to kilobytes to megabytes, it's always a multiple of 1024. However, the industry tries to simplify things by calling it 1000. Therefore, when they're advertising a 16 terabyte drive, realistically, the division doesn't work because you should be dividing by 1024 multiple times to get the correct number. So you always need to understand. Now, there are websites out there that will help you calculate this if you need to, but realistically, if you're buying a 16 terabyte drive, I would expect 14.5 terabytes to be addressable. Similarly, if you're buying a 4 terabyte drive, it's usually around 3.6. So just bear that in mind when you're thinking of your storage requirements. Okay, hopefully you've enjoyed this video, and I will look forward to seeing you next time for my next tech review.